Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you play tennis. A dominant Novak Djokovic destroys Alex de Minaur. There's some alliteration for you. But yesterday was seriously a clinic put on by Novak Djokovic and positions himself as the even more dominant favorite to win this title than he already was. But let's get into the details and the weeds of this match a little bit and show just how dominant he was and why he was able to be so strong against de Minaur, who potentially would have, I thought, been a quite big challenge for him with the way his hamstring was and the way Alex's game could match up against Djokovic's. So let's get into it, into the other results of day 8. I think we're on day 9 today. And yeah, here's the slice. Well, I mean, what do you say? What do you say? That is Novak Djokovic at his almost best. And, in normal terms, when Djokovic is playing his best tennis, no injury, I don't think him beating Alex de Minaur in 3 sets would be too notable. But I think the way in which he beat him yesterday or last night was pretty incredible. And the fact that he was coming in with the hamstring injury had a lot of people questioning whether this would be an easy match or this could turn into a battle and could get super interesting for him. But yeah, welcome to the slice. Before we get rolling here, if you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. Toss us a like on the video. That also helps us out. And then click the links below. Go Sport is our official bag of the tournament, and the Monday Bagel is our newsletter that we'll send you every Monday to keep you updated on the tennis news, the new rankings, who's moving, what clothes are dropping, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Let's get into this match and the other day 8 notes. So to summarize this match, Djokovic beating de Minaur in the way we did. First of all, I want to say why I thought it would be tricky. So basically, Djokovic and Alex de Minaur have similar game styles. Obviously, de Minaur is like a backboard. He's super fast, very athletic on defense, and can just rally with anyone. And that kind of has typically matched up well against Djokovic. In the case that when Djokovic isn't playing his best, he can lose to guys like Roberto Bautista Agut or other players who play with a similar style to Djokovic, very consistent, can make a lot of balls. And we've seen him struggle with players like that. Typically against huge servers or huge hitters who miss a lot, Djokovic can just make them go crazy and they'll totally fall off the tracks because his defense is so good. But we have seen in the past when he's playing another guy who's a super good defender, backboard player, doesn't miss a lot, it can get interesting if Djokovic isn't playing his best, which we thought might be the case because of his hamstring coming into this. And you just never know. These top guys don't have their A game every match. That's just a reality of the sport. So what happened, though, was Djokovic did have his A game. He had an incredible game, and his hamstring was not bothering him. So when de Minaur is just sitting at the baseline, the two of them going back and forth, Djokovic just has the advantage. And Djokovic was able to keep balls so deep in the court for de Minaur. And de Minaur did a pretty good job at that as well to Djokovic. But Djokovic, his ability to pick up the ball on the half bounce, just a foot from the baseline, keep his position and keep his weight totally balanced it's the best in the world, especially on these Australian Open courts. So the fact that Djokovic was able to play so well really gave de Minaur no looks into his game because de Minaur really doesn't have the weapons to then get free points when Djokovic is playing like this. If he was a bigger server, say even like if he was a Tsitsipas is going to be acing Djokovic, a number of times, maybe even up to like 0.5 aces per service game or something like that, where he would just get free points or even enough where he's just getting sloppy returns or shorter returns and then finishing off with a forehand winner. de Minaur wasn't able to do that all match at all because Djokovic was so smothering with his defense because he was playing his best. Let's get into the stats a little bit because that really shows how dominant this was. It was absolutely crazy. So off the top of my head / checks notes, Alex de Minaur had, I think we have it here. Alex de Minaur had 9 winners to 28 unforced errors. And we'll get into the winners here in a second. But obviously that's a terrible ratio, and you're not going to win a tennis match against Novak Djokovic like this. Djokovic had 26 winners, 27 unforced errors, so about equal, So probably could have even been cleaner from Djokovic. But the really crazy thing is about those winners from de Minaur, 0 of them, 0 ground. If you can see here on this chart, 0 ground stroke shots, 0 volley shots were winners. That's crazy. So I guess 1 approach shot was a winner. So that is like a forehand. He had 3 passing shot winners, 2 overhead winners, and then some aces as well. But basically, and then Djokovic had 17 winners off the ground strokes. Djokovic's backhand up the line was incredibly good, flattening it out. And de Minaur just from the baseline, which is where they were battling, because Djokovic is just like, we're going to sit at the baseline and do battle from here, and you're going to have to beat me. De Minaur just does not have the ground stroke game to beat Djokovic like that. You just can't get the ball by him, especially if, maybe with the flatter balls. Djokovic, though, does. He's bigger than de Minaur. He has more power on his ground strokes. He plays with actually one of the heavier rackets on tour. So with, when he's flattening out his shots like he has in these courts and the balls, like flattening out is a better strategy. He's able to get through the court better than de Minaur was. So he was able to hit winners, and he's just, changing direction up the line like he's been doing his whole career, taking that to the bank. He was able to do that last night in a clinical way, just an absolutely clinical way. So yeah, Djokovic literally took de Minaur to school and said, this is how it's done. Nice try. Come again. So yeah, in front of the Australian Open or home crowd, that's pretty amazing. Yeah. And Djokovic said, quote, tonight I didn't feel anything, meaning about his hamstring. So that's a great sign for the Djokovic fans. And that makes sense to me. A hamstring injuries, it's like a muscle. So obviously it can get worse, but it can also get better the more you, I don't know how muscles work. You more stretch it out, it heals itself. Djokovic is obviously doing everything he can with his team to get it better. So that is a great sign for him. It could change though, as he noted, but he just said that he was thankful to get through today with no pain, not really have to worry about that. Although I think you could still tell he was still kind of covering his movement a bit. He didn't want to like stretch himself out on that leg. So instead of sliding into defensive shots, he would kind of run through them. Still chops up de Minaur. Absolutely incredible. So that is just way too good from Novak Djokovic for de Minaur. He was absolutely dominant there. So we will see what he's like in the next round against Andre Rublev. But we'll get there when we get there, because the next video I do will be on the quarterfinal matchups. But today, we're going to still be just looking at the other results from yesterday. So let's look at the results. Why don't we? In the women's, Sabalenka takes out Bencic. I've still called Sabalenka from the beginning of the tournament. I called her as my favorite to win, 7-5, 6-2. Let's just take a quick look at the serving stats here, because that's a big question in a lot of people's mind for Saba. They call her Saba. Only 4 double faults. Bencic had more. She won more percentage on her first serve, got more first serves in, won a higher percentage on both serves than Bencic did. So it looks like the Sabalenka serve has been solved. Man, today's show is just a lot of alliteration. Upset alert. Lynette takes out Caroline Garcia, someone I had as also a title contender in the women's. I did not watch the match, but apparently Garcia is just committed to her 1A game plan of just blasting the ball by people, and was not able to change that when she was spraying unforced errors. I think if we just look at the stats here again, I think it was she had a lot of unforced errors. Let's go down to here. Garcia, 27 winners, 33 unforced errors. To Lynette's 25 winners, 14 unforced errors. So much cleaner game from Lynette. She gets the win. The other Polish, no. Poland, yeah. Poland, another great Polish player. She's into the quarterfinals. Andre Rublev versus Holger Rune. This was a long slugfest. No rhythm in this match from what I saw. I think I watched the first 3 sets. No rhythm. Lots of quick rallies. And Rublev comes out feeling like he was down, feeling like he wasn't going to win. Comes back in the 4th set, and also comes back multiple times in the tiebreaker in the 5th set. So that's crazy. Got to feel good for Rublev there getting through. Has not had the luck in the majors that he would have liked. So now he's into another quarterfinal. He's going to be playing Djokovic, so it's literally the ultimate test. So I don't know if that's a good way to get his first ever quarterfinal victory at a major, but he'll try. Djokovic destroys de Minaur. We already got into that. Looked like de Minaur was literally just, it was a Herculean effort to win games off Djokovic in that match. Very incredible. Ben Shelton takes out JJ Wolf and Jeffrey John Wolf in 5 sets. The 2 American young guys who have both gone up like 30 or 40 spots in the rankings because of their runs here. Ben Shelton's into the quarterfinals. Absolutely amazing. Amazing from the young guy. Pliskova beats Zhang, gives her a bagel and a 6-4. Pretty amazing. Pliskova, yeah, nobody was talking to her about her at the beginning of the tournament. Now she's into the quarterfinals. Good stuff for her. Where are we missing Tommy Paul and Bautista Agut? There it is. Bautista Agut and Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul, who I'm got some connections into his camp. He wins in 4 sets. A very good match from Tommy Paul. If we just look at the stats here as well. Pretty good. 11 aces, 1 double fault. Much more higher, 71% win on first serves compared to 61. Look at this, though. 58 winners for Tommy Paul. For TP Swizzle, 58 winners, 46 unforced errors, whereas RBA had a negative ratio, winners to unforced errors. So good stuff from Tommy Paul. And as we will look at in our quarterfinal preview, we will take a look down at all those matchups in the quarterfinals. We're going to do separate videos, men's and women's. We got Karina covering the women's, myself covering the men's. So we're going to break down those matchups, look at the head-to-heads, look at the odds, and it's going to be interesting. I'm going to really take a deep think or have been taking a deep think already and give my set predictions for who's going to be in the semifinals. But it's interesting. We got Tsitsipas and Djokovic, who seem to obviously be on a crash course for the final, which would be a great final for the Australian Open. But is there a chance that anyone's going to stop them before getting to the final? We will see. Click the link in next video. Find us for the quarterfinal breakdowns for the men and women. This has been The Slice on Djokovic's dominant performance in the 4th round, beating de Minaur in 3 sets. See you next time.